Julian, as we were walking in these pebbled streets, it really, just to think about how much action is going on in these tiny corners and turns, and that makes you realize how much of this festival goes beyond the remounts of classics and the plays of modern masters.
That is true. I think that's why people come to this festival, right? To see the scintillating and the fresh ideas, to be inspired, but also to perspire. What I found out in the past few days is that what binds all these young directors of this generation is that they all want to present the individual concerns in this postmodern world.
Exactly. It's like the struggles of home renters, the seniors who need love, the people that are stuck in the mistrust of their marriage, personal, internal, but also universal struggles that belong to him and her and belong to you and me.
I have to say that's what the festival does to you. It makes you peer into the depth of other people's hearts. And we have Lin bringing us the story of the young directors and the world through their lenses.
All right.
I've always heard much about Wuzhen Theater Festival. How it's dreamy yet full of energy. How it's young yet gleaming with sparkling thoughts. Here, you get to journey into the creative minds of contemporary theater. And for the past week, I've come here to find out what theater is through the lens of burgeoning talents and young artists. On a drizzling morning, I met with director Yang Ping, one of the many established theater talents, to find out more about her play, Still Barking, the story of an elderly mother whose life is under surveillance by her supposedly caring children. Why was the subject the focal point for this young playwright?
I was equally curious. Her grandparents lived by themselves in an old apartment in southern China, and her parents wanted to be able to check in on them anytime, anywhere. Thus, they installed the cameras. She drew her inspirations from this. To be honest, I was quite fascinated by the depth of this piece of work. Through the perspective of a surveillance camera, she digs deep into the loneliness and anxiety experienced by some elderly people in modern times. Drawing from his experience working in one of China's giant tech companies, Shenzhen-based director and playwright Wang Haoran presents Game Boy, a story that alternates between the real and virtual world of a coding engineer. For Wang, theater is all about the present.
The most charming thing in theater is you make your own play and it's happen in your true life. And I have to be responsible for those things I create. I have to be loyal to myself. I want to focus on now. I don't want to talk about history or this or that because there are too many things, too many problems, too many issues we need to talk, need to show, need to put it on table.
While the first two directors explore how technology and the digital world reshape our day-to-day experiences, the next director then zooms in on the highs and lows of the merry life of the millennials. He Qi, director of The Cat, tells me that the laid-back lifestyle here in Wuzhen serves as a stark contrast to the city life featured in her story.
Many people who come here for the festival are young people and city dwellers. For example, in Beijing, my theater experience is always rushed. It takes an hour to get to the theater from most places, and by the time the show starts, I'm totally exhausted. But perhaps this diversely different setting here, which offers some serenity, enables us to look at our city life from another perspective. So even though we're removed from our urban setting, we can better experience the problems this young married couple experience in their day-to-day life.
The quiet canal and the age-old wooden houses along the riverbank lend an air of tranquility to Wuzhen. But Zhan Li, director and choreographer of the film, has brought rage to the streamy water town, where she visualizes the emotions of anger into various dance movements. So how do you communicate these visions that you see for your work to your dancers?
I will let them draw. Sometimes we have all different kind of ways. In this piece, film, I actually ask them to draw a figure of their anger. I say, tell me what your anger looks like. So they would think about something like very abstractive to a very specific figure now. Then it's very interesting. Some of them just paint the whole picture black. And
That's very dark.
Yeah, yeah, and then some of them draw a lot of lightings. So you can actually use them as your movement. Like I remember one of the dancers said, when I feel angry, I always bite my teeth. I always do this. I always bite my teeth. So we do have a movement like this. Mm-hmm. So it's like a teeth, a jaw,
right.
And then and it's also like a animal.
Right.
Then we have some very specific movement with some abstract movement. So we combine them together. So then we made a dance phrase. So something come up with that.
That was really cool how you did that. I guess mine would be scribble. Zigzag scribbles.
Yeah, people always have like a different way to express their feelings, not only anger.
This year, Becca and Kingston have been selected as one of the 18 finalists competing for a grand cash prize at the Emerging Theater Artists Competition. Despite the difficulties of traveling during the pandemic, they flew all the way from Hong Kong to Wuzhen to pursue their theater dream. They say theater has transformed into an attitude towards life for them.
We have nothing to lose because we are poor, we got nothing, we don't have fame, we don't have skills, or even we really got nothing. But we have a vision, we can be bold, we can be, we like to try new things, we care about our community, we want to change the society in a better way, so through our art.